What's up, you guys? It's Camry.k here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a little video that kind of just popped into my head. I was at church today, and I'm filming this on a Sunday, but I think that I'm going to be posting this on a Monday. Anyway, I was at church today, and I was like, you know what? I feel like a lot of people do not know what it is like to be a PK. And for everybody who does not know, a PK is a pastor's kid, pastor's child. You know, I've been one my whole life, and I just kind of have to live life a lot differently than a lot of my peers and just a lot of people that I know. But before I jump into today's video, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below if you are new to my channel. Welcome to my channel, and if you're not, then welcome back to my channel, and let's jump right on in. Juicy Beats. So I'm going to be explaining to you guys what it's like to be a PK. PK is a pastor's kid, and I'm just going to tell you guys like my stories and things that I have been through and things that I can't do, things that like I am limited to when it comes to, you know, the world in general, just things that I haven't been able to experience because of being a PK. So there is a lot of stuff, so go ahead and grab your popcorn, get some drink, and just get ready because it's a lot, okay? Well, I have been a pastor's kid my whole life. I was born into the church. I'm a Christian. I get taught the word right from the Bible. Like, I believe that there is one God, and you know, that's just me, that's my belief, and that's what like I've always known. That's what I've been taught. That's what I grew up knowing. My grandparents are bishops. My father and my mother are pastors, and my dad's like, it's a long like line of people that have just been in the church. So I was just born into it, and there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, I'm a Christian, and that's just what I am. That's all I know, and that's all I really want to know. So I was born into the church. My parents were pastors, so there has been rarely any Sundays when I've ever missed church, and I had to be very sick. And even if I was sick, sometimes I would press my way and go. Unless I was like younger, they would keep me home, you know, someone had to take care of me. But I go to church every Sunday. We have Bible study every Wednesday via conference call. And you know, I have just lived this life of being a pastor's kid, and for some reason there's this rumor that says that pastor's kids are always like the worst kids, like they're the baddest kids. Now, I do have a lot of stories that, you know, some people might question, like, well, if you're a Christian, then why would you do that? If you're a Christian, then why would you act like that? People make mistakes, you know, you go through stuff in life and you just make mistakes. I'm a human. I make mistakes. I may be a Christian, I may go to church every Sunday, but people make mistakes, and you just have to learn to, you know, learn from those mistakes and not repeat them over and over and over again, because eventually they're not mistakes. If you repeat what you keep doing, they're not mistakes anymore. But I have made mistakes in my 17 years of living, and you know, a lot of things you wish you could take back, but you really can't. But me being a pastor's kid has not really affected like how I live my life on a day-to-day basis. I mean, there are certain things that you just cannot do in my household. There's certain things that like we don't listen to, certain things that my parents don't tolerate, certain things that I could not do growing up. When I was younger, I could never like go to school functions, such as like in middle school, they had like these Halloween dances, these school dances and stuff after school, and you would go, you would have like a little date or whatever, you would dress up and you would just go to these dances. I was never allowed to go to those dances. Honestly, I don't really know if that has to do with like me being a PK or like my parents just didn't want me to go. But my parents are very overly protective, because they always tell me they're not just seeing stuff as my parents, they're seeing stuff as my pastors. And same thing like when I would bring friends around the house, like my parents would look at them as a person, but they would also look at things on a spiritual aspect. Like, it's really hard to explain. Like, they can kind of like sense stuff, and I honestly think that that's like a whole nother video, like having to explain like all of the things that come with being a Christian, or just things like in the spiritual world or in their own. I think that that would have to be like a whole nother video, because it's just such a wide topic. Like, it would just take forever, and there would probably be a million questions about everything. But for me personally, I never had to really alter how I live, and the things that I am like able to do have not been super limited, but they have been limited. Like, my parents, they prefer to listen to jazz or soulful music, like just soulful music sounds like of the instruments. They say that it is worldly music, such as like, I don't know, just like rap music in general. Like, they're not big fans of that. They don't really listen to that sort of stuff. They stick with like the traditional jazz music, stuff like that. Like, they don't listen to that. I'm not allowed to play worldly music in the house, because it is a form of disrespect to my parents, because they are my pastors. This is their house, and this is the house like of God's children in the house. So I'm not allowed to play the worldly music, as they call it, in this house, because it's a form of disrespect. I have to practice what they preach. My parents do not believe in a lot of things. My parents teach straight from the Bible. So anything that is against the Bible, they do not tolerate at all. They don't tolerate just like anything that is like in the Bible that says like basically you cannot do this, it's not tolerated. They don't tolerate it. I'm not allowed to go to parties. I'm not allowed to, of course I'm not allowed to drink. I'm not old enough, but even if I was, you cannot drink. Now my parents, they drink wine with their dinner, but it's never anything excessive. They don't drink to get drunk. They don't drink to, you know, do any of that. They don't drink beer. They don't drink alcohol, like hard liquor and stuff like that. They don't do that. I'm not allowed to do that either. Neither are my brothers and my sisters. We're not allowed to do that stuff. We're not allowed to smoke. We're not allowed to drink. We're not allowed to party. We're not allowed to do any of those things. Now, like a gathering, a friendly gathering, we can go to those things, but like if it turns into something else, like if it turns into a party or stuff, like we've been taught to kind of like retreat, go back home, you know. Like now I'm kind of like a homebody, because honestly my whole life I have had to stay in the house, because I wasn't able to go to those parties. I wasn't able to like go to all of these different events and stuff that might have been happening, because my parents didn't trust the people that would be there. They didn't trust the spirits that would be at those places, because people do carry spirits, and that's what I've been taught. People do carry spirits, and my parents, it's not that they didn't trust me as a Christian and as their daughter. They didn't trust the spirits and the people that would be at those places that I would go to. So I wasn't able to go. So now I'm kind of like a homebody, but like now that I'm older, I'm able to, you know, go out and do more stuff, and I'm actually able to go and experience those different things for myself. But now that I'm old enough and I know how, like, I really know what they were talking about, I really don't want to go do those things, because I know what's out there, and I know that there is a lot more than what meets the human eye that is out there in this world for me. So there's just a lot that comes along with it. Like sometimes, like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes my friends don't understand like what it's actually like to be a pastor's kid, because like be a pastor's child, because when I was younger I was not allowed to spend the night at people's houses on Saturdays, and my friends never understood. Like they always thought, like, I guess that was the normal thing to do for your friend to spend the night on a Saturday, and I wasn't able to do that. It could only be a Friday because I had to go to church on Sunday mornings. And my parents were not going to come and pick me up from my friend's house on a Sunday morning so that I could go to church. But now that I'm older, I'm able to, you know, go and spend the night at my friend's house on a Saturday night. But I just have to make sure that I wake up early enough to be able to come home and get ready for church and be at church on time as everybody else that's there. And, like, that's just a priority of mine. For me, personally, that's a priority of mine. Like, I'm a Christian. My life revolves around God, and the beliefs that I have, like, they can't be altered. They can't be changed because I've been taught to think a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way, and that's just how I am. That's just how I live my life, is through the way of God. And of course I make mistakes. I may listen to worldly music. I may do things that I'm not supposed to do things that are in the Bible that says that I'm not supposed to do. But you know, I'm a human, and you make mistakes and you learn from it, you repent for it, and you move on, and you don't do those things again. And you know, life goes on and things change, and you just keep going, you know. Stuff happens, you know. And I just feel like there are harder times where people don't understand, like, even when it comes to YouTube, like, there are some videos that I would want to record, but because of the fact that, like, I am a pastor's kid, the people at my church do watch my YouTube videos, the people at my grandparents' church watch my YouTube videos. There are certain things that I can't say and certain things that I can't disclose to people because they're watching me. Like, there's eyes everywhere. On every social media account I have, there are eyes everywhere, from people from the church, from my parents' daycares. Like, they're everywhere. So I have to conduct myself in a certain manner because there are people that are watching me, and they will go back and tell my parents if I'm doing anything crazy and disrespecting them anyway, because how I portray myself and show myself off to the world and to people is how people are going to think that my parents are. So if I'm out here acting buck wild, acting all crazy, they're going to be like, wow, if she's acting like that, like, how do her parents act? Because if she's acting crazy, then her parents have to be acting crazy too in order for her to act like that. So I always have to conduct myself in a certain manner. I always have to, you know, treat people a certain way. There are always different conferences and stuff that they had to go to, and I would have to go to them. As a child, my parents had to leave like almost every other month or every month to go to meetings out of the state because they had to do stuff for church, and it was just like, that was just a part of my life. Like, that's just what I had become accustomed to. Like, mom and dad have to go to work for the church. Like, they have to go to work because they are, you know, preachers and stuff. So it just kind of like, my life literally just revolved around the church. And even if you, like, ask my friends and stuff, like, yeah, they may be like, oh yeah, Camry, she, you know, she can get wild, like, she's a fun time, but when it comes to church, she doesn't miss it, because I don't. And I mean, when it comes to my beliefs, like, that's something that I hold very true to me and very close to myself. Like, I'm very, very, very strong about, I feel very strongly about what I believe in and who I am and all of my beliefs and things, and they may kind of clash with other people's beliefs and basically society as a whole. Christians have really become like a threat to just the society that we're living in today's world. So it's kind of a very sensitive topic to a lot of people, but me personally, like, me being a Christian my whole life, there's nothing that I wouldn't want to say. There's nothing that I would be afraid to say about who I am and what my religion is and what my beliefs are. But I mean, being a pastor's kid has really taught me a lot of responsibility, and honestly, I think that it's taught me to be just a stronger person in general, and to know that, like, there is someone else who's looking out for you. There is a God there, and there is a person who, you know, is watching everything that's going on. And I know that when I go and when it's time for me to leave this world, I want to go to heaven, and that's my main goal. That's literally all I care about. I mean, all of the, what do you call them? They're not artificial, but all of the, like, worldly things, like my hair and stuff, I can't think of the name, but this is gonna be here when I leave. Like, I'm not taking this with me when I go. So my parents, I feel like they are teaching me more than what I need to know to get through this thing called life. They're teaching me how I can get into heaven and how I can be with God and live my life, live my afterlife in peace and happiness, and not go to hell and be burning and tortured for the rest of all eternity. So I feel like I was blessed to be a PK, and I feel like a lot of people may not understand like what I'm talking about or how I'm conducting myself, and that I don't make sense, that like my actions may contradict what I say. But I mean, when you have a belief and it's just not, it can't be altered, like that's just what it is. And so being a PK has really taught me that like I am a Christian and I will be a Christian until the day that I die. And it's honestly not as bad as people think. Like, yes, I have restrictions. Yes, there are things that I can't do. I can't throw kickbacks. I can't throw parties. I can't do any of that because my parents are pastors, and you have to respect pastors. Like, you have to respect your elders in general, and they're my pastors. Like, I just have to respect them. I can't disrespect their house and throw a party. Like, there's just different things that you can't do. So I feel like me being a PK has really made me into the woman that I am today, and I'm going to continue to conduct my life as a Christian because of what I have been taught. And I'm so very grateful that I was born into a family who is Christian based and who are pastors, because I feel like I would have gotten into a lot more trouble and a lot more things would have occurred in my life if I was not a part of a Christian family. So I think that I am very grateful for the life that I live, and I would not trade my life for anything, like just to go to a party or anything. I'll be grown soon enough, so I will be able to, you know, go out and learn like these different things that can happen in the world. But I know that there are some things that I don't want to experience because of who I am, what I believe, and there's just certain things that I just don't want to experience in general. Even as a human being, there are just, you know, some things that you're just like, I'll like, you know, stay away from that. It's not my cup of tea. But I do feel like PK kids do get the title as like, oh no, they're the worst kids, like they're so bad. Like, I don't think that's true. There may be some, but honestly I think that like we're, out of all of the people that I know, the PK kids are honestly the ones who probably have their head on the most straight, because they have people at home who constantly talk to them about like their beliefs and their God and who they should be and who they should become and what kind of person they should be, how they should act, how they should portray themselves. And yes, regular parents do that too, but I feel like it just comes harder and it hits you harder when it's coming from like a parent who's a pastor and you're a PK kid. I just feel like a lot of things just hit you a lot harder, and I don't know, like this is just how I feel. This is just a life that I've lived, and honestly I wouldn't trade it for anything. When I was younger, I used to be like, oh my gosh, like all of my other friends, they have so much fun, they can go to parties, they can do this, they can do that. But honestly, I feel more than blessed to be living the life that I live, because I feel like a lot of the things that have happened in my life I have been blessed with because of the fact that like I'm a PK kid, and because of the fact that I live my life through God and through the Word of God. And so, you know, I just feel like this is the life that I want to be living, and this is the life that I would not trade ever. And I have been taken out of a lot of situations because of who I am in like the body of Christ and who I believe in. And I feel like I've been like, you know, saved from a lot of situations because of what my beliefs are, and because my God helps me through a lot of situations. Like, I just feel like I've been blessed to, you know, be a PK kid. And no, I don't think that I'm one of the worst kids. I feel like I am probably one of the wisest kids because of what I have been taught in my life. And I feel like we just get like this stereotype like, oh no, y'all are bad, y'all are the worst. Like, no, not at all. I feel like that's just something that like is portrayed by some, but not by all. So don't judge us. don't judge us that much, y'all. Don't judge us all, you know. But now that you guys know a little bit more about me and my beliefs and me being a Christian, there is something that I wanted to start on my channel, and it has been a while, and it has taken me a while because I always wanted to come up with a name for my subscribers, you know, and it just never could hit me, and I just never could think about it, and I just did not know what I wanted to name my subscribers. But for me and my beliefs, I feel like the perfect name for my subscribers would be angels. So you guys are going to be my angels. So whenever I come back on my YouTube videos, I'm going to be like, hi angels, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. That is going to be what it is. I'm going to be calling you guys my angels because I feel like all of you guys that come to me and stay with me are going to, you know, be going on this journey with me, not only as a YouTuber but as a Christian YouTuber, and you guys are going to know me, and I'm going to be able to, you know, not just come to you guys as a regular beauty influencer. I'm going to be coming to you guys as a Christian beauty influencer, and I'm going to be, you know, different videos are going to be incorporated where my Christianity and everything is going to shine through in the video. So I feel like if you guys stick around with me, then you guys are going to be truly angels that are going to be able to come with me on this journey of this thing called life in YouTube. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please, if you are new to my channel, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope that you guys all enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys back next time with another video. Bye guys.